What's going on, fight fans? This is Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Rob Jarrell, and this is the preview to this Saturday's boxing lineup. It's going to be a broadcast on ESPN Plus. Plus, it's going to be on Showtime and Facebook, and Showtime Facebook and YouTube. And that is Amir Khan versus Phil LaGreco, which I'm just going to do a quick blurb on, and Carl Frampton versus Nonito Donaire in a 126-pound matchup. Now, I don't have much on the Amir Khan Phil LaGreco fight, other than to say Amir Khan, who's coming off of almost a 2-year layoff after that knockout loss to Canelo Alvarez, should beat Phil LaGreco handily. Every time LaGreco steps up in competition, he really does not measure up to the top fighters. He's lost to Errol Spence Jr. and he's lost to Sean Showtime Porter. So this should be nothing different. I expect to see him give some issues to Amir Khan. Amir Khan probably needed that layoff because he took a very, very high-risk fight versus Canelo in which he was winning and then got knocked out because he has those flaws of where his hands are too fast for his feet. He's never really balanced when he punches. So this should be a pretty good tune-up fight for him against a sturdy LaGreco, but he should win and look impressive in Liverpool on ESPN Plus. But the real fight of the night is the one starring Carl Frampton versus Nonito Donaire. This is an interesting matchup because Carl Frampton, his last fight was in 2017, November 2017. He got a unanimous decision versus Horatio Garcia, in which he looked pretty decent in, but he's had some issues with weight. But before that, he had a second fight versus Leo Santa Cruz, in which he lost by majority decision. He's a great fighter. He is athletic. He's fast. He's got really fast twitch muscles. So I think he'll have the advantage in this fight versus Nonito Donaire, who is a great, pretty much going to Hall of Fame fighter out of the Philippines. But the issue is, the issue with both of them is they don't do very well against movers. You can see that in the Jesse Magdaleno fight with Donaire, and the Leo Santa Cruz fight, who changed up his tactics. Instead of brawling, he went to a more boxing on the outside style, which, being taller, having a longer reach than Carl Frampton, made sense. And Carl Frampton was still able to make that a fight. I personally thought Leo Santa Cruz won handily, but I'm not a judge. Nonito Donaire did well in the Jesse Magdaleno fight, but Magdaleno was just too young, too fast, and he used his feet very well, and he had some hellacious body work versus Donaire. And I think that's going to be the difference in this fight. Frampton should be fresher. He is younger. He's only 31, and Nonito Donaire, I think, is about 35. So he's definitely on the backside of his career, but he still has some speed. Carl Frampton, while bigger as far as density, they're roughly the same height. And I think Carl Frampton really hasn't taken as much damage. He has been knocked down. He should be able to fight from the outside and work behind that jab. And I'm not just talking about one stiff jab at a time. We're talking about 2 to 3 jabs to work his way in, push Nonito Donaire back, and get right back to the outside. Because one of the things about Donaire, while he is on the backside of his career, he's still a very good counterpuncher, and he still hits hard. Does he still have those reflexes, and can he make it a 12-round fight? He seems to take time off, starts fairly well, but you could tell because his feet, he doesn't have that bounce anymore. He's more so stationary, even though he is athletic. Carl Frampton, I think, will have the faster, more active feet. Donaire is still a really good counterpuncher, so what Donaire has to do is use his experience to draw Frampton in and stay in the box and stay in his wheelhouse a little too long, and make him pay. He still has a great check hook, and he's going to want to line that right hand up, and he's more willing to fight than I think Frampton is. Frampton will fight. I don't see both of these guys going backwards. Whoever gives up that space and ground first will be the one, to me, losing the fight unless that's a part of the fight. Carl Frampton only has about 14 KOs. He's 24-1, while Nonito Donaire has 24 KOs in 38 fights. He just doesn't have a string of KOs on his record right now. He fought Ruben Garcia back in 2017, lost to Jesse Magdaleno back in 2016. Then got a few good wins against some less than great competition. I mean, guys who have 1 loss or 3 losses, 2 losses. But of course, he was knocked out by the bigger, longer, stronger, and harder hitting Nicholas Walters, who was just too big for him. But you're talking about his losses were to the best of the best guys who were able to use their feet or be bigger and longer than him, like Riga Diao, Jesse Magdaleno, Nicholas Walters, and once early in his career. So I would like to see Nonito Donaire put more than 1 punch and stop relying on his power so much. Granted, yes, he can catch you. He was able to rally versus Guillermo Rigondeaux late. He was able to put hands on Jesse Magdaleno, but the thing about it is, he doesn't really move his head a lot. He usually uses his feet, and because he doesn't have that same bounce, he will take punishment in his guard. So that will be the time that Carl Frampton takes advantage of Donaire, is making him go to the high guard and work in the body. Donaire can't get too close or make Frampton pay on the way in, but he can't smother his punches. That was one of the big issues versus Jesse Magdaleno, who would let him get too close. He wants him in range to land those counter punches, but he can't smother by moving forward as Frampton moves forward. And I think Frampton will be a little bit more tentative until he finds out he has that size and strength advantage after he puts some punches on Nonito. While I'm a fan of Nonito Donaire, I don't think he has enough left in the tank to take a prime Carl Frampton, who, again, doesn't take a lot of punishment. He hasn't taken a lot of punishment. Granted, he's been knocked down. And I think there will be a knockdown in this fight, but I think it's going to be a unanimous decision for Carl Frampton in the long run. I think Nonito Donaire doesn't have many fights left. I think this will be the last of maybe 2 or 3 fights left for him. He's a pretty smart, self-aware guy. So I think the writing will be on the wall. And I always thought he was much better with Robert Garcia as his coach. But I think he still has Israel Salas as his coach. But I always thought he was better with Diaz than his father or Salas. But that remains to be seen. I think we're going to get a pretty entertaining fight. Don't forget, it's on the Showtime page on Facebook and on the Showtime page on YouTube. And again, Amir Khan will be on ESPN Plus. So check the app or go ESPN.com, check that out. And that's all I got for you. Hakeem mentioned, check out Hakeem's preview of the Showtime card featuring Jamal Charlo versus Hugo Centeno, Adrian Broner versus Jesse Vargas, and Javante Tank Davis versus Jesus Cuellar. That's all I got for you today. And as Hakeem mentioned, if you made it to the end of this video, a great friend of ours had passed away last month. Me and Hakeem were both born in March. Our birthdays were last month, and it took place a week before Hakeem's, 2 weeks before mine. So that was a really big loss to both of us. If you can, please take a 10-bell count for one of our best friends, Ken Johnson. He will be missed. He was one of the biggest supporters of us starting this YouTube channel, showing us how to work with everything. And that's all I got for you today. Don't forget, if you subscribe to us, hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications when new videos come up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you already done both, watch this video, watch our other videos, share with your friends, get them to subscribe, and respond, talk to us in the comments. capitalcombat@gmail.com, Capital Combat on Facebook, Capital Combat on Twitter, Capital Combat on Instagram. And until next time, fight on.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming.